Hi everyone, today I'm talking about the three stocks that I'm buying in February 2019. Now these are the three stocks I'm most likely to buy, but you never know, there could be stocks that pop up and I do buy them if there's a discount on in the stock market. But these are the three that I'm most likely to buy, and I'm going to talk about how likely I am to buy these stocks. And number three is quite a bit of a surprise because I've not talked about this stock for a while on this channel, but it's one that I'm considering, but it's probably the least likely I'm going to buy, but you'll be quite surprised when I actually talk about the stock. So, like always guys, there's probably a full video about more detail about these stocks that I'm recommending to buy or that I'm going to be buying. So if you want a little bit more detail, just go through my videos, you'll probably find it eventually. But I'm going to say a couple of fundamentals of the company and a couple of reasons why I might buy into the company. So I'm going to start off with my number one pick, which was Boeing. Boeing, love the company. It's probably the most likely stock that I'm going to be buying in 2019 or February. I really want to get back into this company. I think that in the long term, a year, 2 years down the line, this is going to be $500 a share stock. So the PE is 30 on it, which is slightly high. Forward PE is about 25ish. The dividend growth on this stock on the history has been amazing. It's now at 2.05, but going forward we could see this go probably up to 2.35 or 2.45 next year, so that'd be really good. EPS growth is insane at 21.5%, and I normally say that I like to have a company that's growing at 10% plus revenues. Boeing is just slightly under that on 7.2%, but you cannot never always get the perfect company, but looking at everything that's going on in the revenue side of it, that's pretty decent overall. Now, some of the reasons why I would like to get into Boeing is, number one, is the India growth and potentially the China growth as well. The India at the moment is growing absolutely insane. The economy is going up massive, and when something like that happens, one of the big things that you need to have more aeroplanes because there's more traffic coming in and out of India, and that's exactly what's happening right now. The amount of orders that India are placing right now because of them needing the more planes is really impacting on Boeing because they are getting a lot of orders from them. Boeing already has quite a bit of a long order list, but with India also popping up and also potentially China as well, because of that their orders are going up, and while Boeing can increase their deliveries, that's where they'll get more money from. So at the moment it's looking good for Boeing in the long term because of countries like India that are growing right now. Number two being that international flights are going up, and are still projected to go up in like the next 5 years. They're still going to be increasing quite a bit. So when there's always more flights, more planes are needed. There's a lot more aeroplanes, companies that are starting to set up now, and a lot of the companies that are out there are also upgrading their airplanes that they have right now because of not really upgrading much since 2008. So you've got a lot of the Eastern airplane companies that are like starting up needing planes, and you've got the Western companies also that are trying to upgrade their airplanes because they're in big competition with other companies as well. And like I talked about the dividend growth, potentially in the long term the dividend growth on Boeing could be really, really good. So you should see a lot of growth investors getting there, fundamental side of it, a lot of growth investors as well. I think Boeing just applies to so many investors, especially for like how diverse it can make your portfolio as well. So I think this is really an attractive company to a lot of people. The share buyback program they have at the moment as well. So Boeing overall is just a really great company, and this is probably the one that I'm most likely to add into February. Like I say, if I do add any stocks into my portfolio in February, I will make a video about it, and I'll put the price that I entered into the stock and make a video about that. My number two stock is Microsoft. Now, if you watch my videos quite often, or you see me on this channel talk about Microsoft, you'll know that it's my favourite stock on the stock market. Really great company, and this company was known as pretty much like 5 years ago as a dead company. It wasn't going anywhere, and then it just all changed. It rebranded itself, and like I'll say why and how it managed to do that. But this is my favourite stock on the stock market, and I'd like to get to Boeing, but my next thing is that I'd like to add quite a few more shares back into Microsoft and make it that largest position in my portfolio, and make sure it stays there as my largest position in the portfolio, because I really like this company, especially long term. I think this could go up quite a bit. So the PE is 27, which is pretty good, especially when you look at the growth side of it as well. The dividend is 0.46, which is really good as well for the price of the company, and this dividend will carry on going up as we go on. Last time the dividend went up, a lot of people accused Microsoft of actually not putting it up enough because they couldn't afford to. So we'll see this go up probably sometime soon. The EPS is 30.7%, so that's double digit, which is great. And the revenue side of it is 10.85%, which is another double digit. Fundamentally and growth side of it and brand side of it, this is like the perfect company for me because I love the brand of it. Strongest company in its area and all the areas that it's in. It's so diverse as well. So many income streams. The P's great, especially the forward P side of it. The dividends is really good, and that's going to keep going up. And it's a double-digit growth company. So this is kind of like ticks all the boxes for me. Is this company? 3 quick points why I really like this company is because, like I say, it used to be known as a dead company, but then it changed to a subscription side of it for the office. That increased revenues, and that was a really good move. You know, everyone hated it when they did it because it was just so easy to just go buy the product and then you use it for like 5 years and you never need to buy another one until you get a new computer. And sometimes if you bought like the 5 key codes, you could just use the 5 key codes to get Office on the other computers. So you nearly never ended up having to pay for Office. But the subscription side of it now, so you have to pay every year or every month to have Office, is a really good move from them. And they can always just increase that price a little bit every year, and that'll keep the revenue going up as well. And like I say, the diverse side of the company as well, it's in so many sectors, and them sectors are growing massive. I really like the cloud sector. I always like companies that are kind of trying to get into that area as well. The gaming side of it recently as well, we'll probably have a new console soon as well, so that will probably push revenues up. So that's something to consider when you're getting into Microsoft, or if you're considering buying Microsoft. And also, another thing which stopped the company from being a dead company is the amount of companies that Microsoft started buying out. Now, I've always said that on this channel that I think Apple should do what Microsoft did. You know, Apple's starting to get to what Microsoft was, and Apple should try and get to what Microsoft is right now. And the way that Microsoft spun that around is they started buying out so many companies to push up that revenue. And it's all totally worked out for Microsoft right now because look at the revenue growth of 10.85%. So buying out companies is something that Apple should do because you look at Microsoft and look how it's worked for them. Look how diverse they are in so many sectors now. We've really turned the company around. And like I say, long term, this is probably my favourite company. It is my favourite company. So I'd love to keep adding shares into it. And it's just one that I'm planning to hold for a very long time. So yeah, Boeing and Microsoft are probably my number two stocks that I am looking to buy quite heavily into the stock market in February 2019. And my last stock for 3 stocks I'm buying in February 2019 is eBay. Now, I want everyone to kind of view this from the point of view, is this stock discounted and is this at a sale price, rather than is this stock going to completely change the world in the next 2-3 years? Is it going to be one of the top 10 growth companies or what have you? Look at this from kind of a discount kind of view, and that's where I'm looking at it from. One thing that I'm going to say as well is that eBay is massively performing or growing in Europe compared to the US. So when people think of eBay in the US, I don't think they realise how well it's actually doing in Europe. In Europe, that's where a lot of its growth is coming from. Australia as well. Compared to the US, where it's pretty much not doing too well there. I'm looking at this kind of from a discounted kind of view, and it's shouting at me that this stock is massively discounted, and maybe it would be worth just to like, you could call it a swing trade and hold it. But like I say, I'm thinking about it. I don't know if I'm going to go through with it, but I think that it's on a little bit of a sale overall. Now, if we look at it, the P is 15, which is quite low, especially when you look at a lot of the industries P's that are in there. You know, your Etsy, your Amazon. Look at the P's they're at compared to eBay. So that's a bit of a good P for, especially for an e-commerce site. The dividend, it don't pay one, but people have said before that eBay should pay one. EPS is quite good really, 12.6%, and the revenue is 5.6%. Now, this used to actually be a double-digit revenue company quite a few years back, but its revenue has been going down overall, but it's still not too bad. It's just when you compare it to the other e-commerce sites that are growing massively, and eBay revenue isn't. But at the same time, the other e-commerce sites aren't at this PE, so you've got to consider that as well. Obviously, eBay as well has quite a few other companies as well. You know, it's got StubHub, it's got Gumtree, which are quite popular overall. And like I said, it's 31% off its 52-week high. Like, bit of a discount right there. So you know, if you were going to get into it, maybe this is the time right now. There can't be too much more downside for a company that's still growing at this kind of rate at 15p. One thing that really stands out, paid ads up 120% in Q3. That's something that's pretty impressive, and that's where eBay have said a lot of their growth is going to be coming from in the future. The marketplace side of it will still grow quite a bit, but the ad side of it has been one of the big companies' points of why you should invest in them going forward. And like I say, forward P of 11, you know, P's at 15, forward P at 11. So that's pretty good overall. The big thing I have with eBay is that the one thing I normally go for companies that have revenue of 10%, but I normally go for the market leader in that sector, which would be Amazon. So when you look at eBay, it has a lot of big competition, but it's held its own against Amazon for like the last 10 years, since Amazon really has shot up. So I'm thinking the only thing that I'm considering right now is because of the e-commerce competition that it has. How much will that take away from eBay? I'm not sure, but like I said before, there's not many e-commerce sites at a P of 15. Overall, that's what I'm thinking right now. I'm not sure if I will buy this stock, but I am considering buying it into February. Like I say, if I do buy it, I'll let you know. It's just one that I'm thinking about a little bit at the moment. But I'll probably see after Boeing and Microsoft what I do from there. It's probably behind them. So it's one that I'm reviewing. This one could quite well have been PayPal that I put in here. But I thought it's just something a little bit different to show that I am considering other stocks right now. That's video today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the free stocks I'm buying in February 2019. Thanks for our support recently. It's been amazing. All the likes, subscribers, all the new viewers. Thank you so much. And I'll see you on the next video.